Thanks for tuning into Electric Bike Journal. Today's review is on the Moots Express. There's been a lot of conversation about this bike in the cycling world since its announcement, but first let me get into some warmer clothes and we can go through the specs and tell you our thoughts on this carbon electric gravel bike. Moots, who is known for their handmade titanium bicycles, have entered the e-bike space with the Moots Express. They've used their extensive knowledge in the gravel bike space to bring you a fast, high-performance e-gravel bike. To many people, this may seem like a curveball for a company like Moots to create a carbon electric gravel bike, but we think this is exciting that Moots brings their many years of experience in the gravel bike world to bring in electric gravel bike so that their customers can enjoy a Moots just with a bit more power. The Moots Express is a Class 3 electric bike with pedal assist up to 28 miles per hour. It uses the Shimano EP801 drive unit with a 504 watt-hour Shimano battery that is integrated into the frame, and it is removable. The frame is made of carbon fiber and it comes in 4 different stock sizes. The Express uses the Shimano XT Linkglide 11-speed drivetrain. This is an e-bike specific drivetrain with Autoshift and Freeshift. The shifters are Shimano Ultegra R8170 Shifters and flat mount brakes with a 160mm rear rotor and a 180mm front rotor. It uses a Shimano EN600 display as well as a Shimano on-off control switch that is on the top tube of the bike. The wheels are Shimano GRX RX 879 carbon wheels that have Panaracer Gravelking SK plus tubeless 50mm tires mounted on them. All the cables are routed internally, and this is made possible with the integrated cockpit with the Moots MOD handlebars and MOD stem. There are various mounting points on this bike as well as fender mounts integrated onto the frame, and there are some rivets on the fork as well. The Moots Express comes in weighing 33 pounds and it has an estimated range of up to 100 miles with a price tag of $9,999. When I first heard the announcement about the Moots Express, it actually caught me by surprise a little bit. Known about Moots for a long time, pretty much since I got into cycling. Knowing them for their handmade titanium frames, super awesome to look at, and whenever you saw one on the road, the person riding it was also super stoked to be on that bike, and it was probably a dream bike of theirs. The Moots Express is a serious looking e-bike, and that is because it really is one. From the oversized carbon tubing to the component spec, they really didn't hold back on this bike at all. It also comes in relatively light at 33 pounds, so it isn't too much of a heavy bike to deal with. As for sizing of the bike, I am between the small and a medium, and I opted to go for the size small. I personally like to have more seat post showing and a little bit less of a standover height. Personally, I like to have a little bit longer of a reach to get to the bars, but this does have the MOD integrated stem and bar combo, so I couldn't choose to get that longer stem. It didn't really affect my riding that much, just a personal preference overall. Having that shorter stem does give you a bit more of an upright seated position, and that was actually beneficial for the gravel. But overall, for those longer rides, I think I would like to have a longer stem just to stretch me out a little bit more. This is the most time I have actually spent using the Shimano EP drive unit, and this EP801 drive unit was actually super impressive. The EP801 drive unit produced smooth power in all the power modes and was actually pretty quiet as well. There are 2 different pedal assist tunes that you can choose from the settings, which are Jaunt, which gives you 3 pedal assist levels, or Adventure, which spreads the power over 4 pedal assist levels. I had the bike set in Jaunt, which has a little bit more of a power boost between each of those levels. The Adventure mode gives you a smoother curve, so when you are looking to go on those all-day adventures, you don't have as much of a power jump between those assist levels. This motor and computer paired with the Shimano Linkglide wireless drivetrain was very nice. The left shifter front brake lever controlled the pedal assist levels, and the right shifter rear brake controlled your cassette. This all worked very smoothly and naturally and really had a nice overall feel while riding the bike. There also is a button on the top of the hoods where you can turn this bike from manual shift to automatic shift. And that's right, I said automatic shifting. The Shimano drive unit will sense when you are pedaling up a hill and will shift into a certain gear depending on the cadence and the speed that you are going. I did an entire ride using just auto shift, and it was definitely pretty strange at first, but I did get used to it towards the end. There is a way to change when this will shift via the Shimano computer on here. If you know the cadence that you like to pedal at, you can set that on the computer, and then when you are pedaling up a hill, if you drop below that cadence, it will shift into a different gear for you, so you can get back into your comfortable cadence. When you are descending in automatic mode, if you are in a higher gear and you start to go fast, it actually does shift into a lower gear for you, so when you do start pedaling again, you will be in somewhat of the correct cadence for pedaling going at that speed. I think if you really played with the settings on here and dialed in the cadence that you like, and even got super serious in the app, you could make this automatic shifting work really well for you. This may not be for everyone, but I could see this beneficial for people that just want to go out and ride and don't even have to think about shifting, even though shifting with this Di2 setup is actually super smooth and really easy. Overall, the riding characteristics of this bike is super smooth and it feels really fast on the road, and it does transfer when you get into the gravel. The combination of the carbon fiber frame with the GRX carbon wheels and the 50C Panaracer tires really does help smoothen out some of those bumps when you are riding on the gravel. All of that combined with this bike really is confidence inspiring, and it really does make you want to ride faster everywhere that you go. It is also very nice that there are a bunch of different mounting points for different accessories on this bike. You do have some mounting points on the fork, as well as the bottle cages, which should come standard on a bike like this. But there are also integrated fender mounting points. I didn't get a chance to use those, but it would have been really nice to have those fenders on this bike, as I did get pretty muddy while riding this thing. The only thing I really would have changed on this bike for me is having a different stem length and maybe a bit wider of bars. The stock setup like this is probably going to work for most people, but as a personal preference, I would like to have a little bit longer of a stem and a wider bar to have a bit more control when I am riding out there on the gravel. The bars also do flare out a bit when you get into the drops, so when you are on some of those bigger, longer descents, you can get into those drops. You have a bit more control with the width of that, and they really aren't too far of a drop from the hoods. The Express really handled well in all the conditions that I took it in, and it truly did make me want to explore more. That essentially was Moots' goal when they were creating the Express. They wanted to create a bike that would take your gravel riding experience to another level. Now, the Express might not be for everyone, especially coming in with a price point of $10,000, and it may be a little off-putting to the Moots purists. But we definitely see where this bike fits in the Moots lineup. This could be for the Moots enthusiast that can't put in as many miles as they used to, but still wants to have an experience out there and just get a little bit help while doing so. Or this could be for the rider that wants to take their gravel riding experience to a whole nother level, and this bike can definitely do that. Moots really did hit the mark with making a fun, fast, good-looking electric gravel bike. If you are looking for an electric gravel bike to take your gravel riding experience to another level, then this is definitely a bike that you should consider. This bike is a bike that I wish I could keep in the garage for much longer, as I did have a great time on every ride that I took it out on. Thank you for watching this review on the Moots Express. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.